Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. We have quite a few things to talk about today because we have to prepare for something big. Something is on the horizon this Friday. The debate between Hasan and Ethan Klein. So Hasan accepted. Let's schedule it for 12:30 this Friday. Dan will send you Zoom or Discord link on Discord. So it's happening. It's happening. Ethan also posted on his Instagram story this article about Hasan. I didn't read the puff piece, so I'm not going to read this article either, just because I don't care to hear more of the same. Basically, we're already going to do that later in this stream. Firsties, welcome in, Stacy. But Ethan posted this and also wanted to clarify, I disagree fundamentally with the views held by this website and more specifically their pro-Israel slant in this article. Unfortunately, no one else in the media is talking about this serious problem of Hasan and Twitch glamorizing terror orgs. And not because a lot of them don't care about the story, it's because Twitch is a bizarre other world that most of the media have no concept of. That's why I think this story is important. It can stimulate others in media to try to understand this world that has a huge influence on people under 30. Hasan, I believe it would be a good time to finally speak. Would you like to come on the show on Friday? And that's when he accepted. We're having it happen. It's very exciting. There was one more. Oh, this was just the actual thing for it. The handsome face of terror apologia. Hasan Piker has been called a model for the future of progressive media. He also calls Jews inbred and says Zionists should be treated like what? Well, we know it's neo-Nazis. But yeah, I think what we're gonna do today is I'm building kind of like a document of timestamps, so I don't have to watch all like 6 hours of the two conversations that they had from the breakup of Leftovers and the little conversation they had after about Hasan moderating his community. So I'm breaking that down like tomorrow and today, so we can talk about that on Friday. But today I want to show the debate between Hasan and Willie Mack, because I watched that a while ago and I feel like it's just so, it shows the tactics that Hasan's going to try and like employ in this debate. And I feel like it's necessary to kind of refresh ourselves so that everyone in chat can start going, he's doing it. He's doing it again. But yeah, so we continue. Oh, this was funny too. So Tectone declined and Iced Poseidon has also declined to be a part of the Creator Clash.
His event, his boxing event for Creator Clash, but I had to decline that because if I were to lose the iDubbbz, I would be extremely embarrassed, and I'm not very good at boxing, so I was like, no, I can't.
And it's just so funny because they're scrambling now. They're really just scrambling because Harley is out. Harley is no longer doing the Creator Clash. He said it on Twitter, and we got the confirmation from the Oreo himself.
Okay, I did just get clarification from Harley Morenstein. I appreciate it. I'll have to move this up in the segment, but he just wanted to clarify that he dropped. Ian and Anissa didn't drop him. He left on his own accord.
Thank you for the $5, my man.
So that is something that he wanted you guys to know.
I mean, that's a good clarification too, that he was the one that was like, nah, I'm done. It ain't cool. I'm assuming you're joking, Alex, but it wouldn't be a far bet if he was just sending out random messages to smaller creators going, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? We can't pay you, but it'll be fun. And beyond that, Harley also said, Harley's just been sticking up for his Jewish brethren. Now he's just sticking up for his actual beliefs, and it's kind of, I think this was the whole point, that it's like, Ethan was never even like telling iDubbbz you have to side with me. It was like, all about the CPS stuff. It's like, it's pretty obvious that you should side with Ethan, but beyond that, it's like, just make your voice known about like these things that are happening. Don't just like stand idly by. And Bad Empanada decided to reach out to Harley through Twitter by saying, "Hey, at Harley Plays, I'm going to make videos about you with carefully crafted SEO to make sure everyone knows who you are and what you say. Your reputation will be irreparably damaged. Your only out is to come on stream and try to justify your claims live. I'd rather you just try and fuck my life up in your little stupid way than spend a minute listening to your voice and looking at your ugly face, Georgie Borgie." He really is just using this image is just an own. I don't know why he posted this to begin with. Did you think it made him look He's like, "I look like a Greek philosopher in this." He does. He looks like Diogenes. You philosophy students will get that one. What was the other one? Oh yeah. Sorry, I have some Reddit and stuff that I'm pulling from the other thing. I'm trying to do these in order though because I saw them and I thought they kind of pieced together nicely. Here's Keemstar saying Bad Empanada wrong.
With the beef between H3H3 and iDubbbz, because this guy right here, this Ban Emma Panda guy,
Banned Emma Panda.
he's the Hasan Piker like super fan.
Empanada, Bad Empanada.
Yeah, whatever his name is. All right, this guy is like goes really too far in the paint.
I know he's dyslexic, so I'm not gonna like, nail it home and be like, "You idiot, Keem." I know that he's just dyslexic, so he misread it. But that was really funny. I think that would be a great little soundbite every time that Bad Empanada gets brought up.
Beef between H3H3 and iDubbbz, because this guy right here, this Ban Emma Panda guy, he's the Hasan Piker like super fan.
Empanada, Bad Empanada.
Yeah, whatever his name is. All right, this guy is like goes really too far in the paint, right?
Yeah, he's crazy.
He started.
What if Harley did talk to... Does this come up if I just look it up? It does if you just look up. I was wondering, what if Harley went and talked to Bad Empanada, but he went as Shaq? If you just Google Harley as Shaq, I can't. It's a terrible fucking image. I just think the funny part to me is that when he was talking about it, he said he's like, "I'm from Canada. I didn't realize how bad it was." But yeah, he was Shaq. Everybody knows about Harley's history. I should set up a soundboard. I kind of want to. I've tried it before, but the way I'd have to get an actual like little like MIDI or something, because I was trying to do it through I was trying to code out something and it was not working well. But I'm also not good at coding, so that could have been the problem. And this was in Papa Guts chat. Someone said this, and I think it kind of illustrates the issue with a lot of the people that talk about the conflict in Israel and Palestine, because it's a serious conflict. And Ethan said it best when he said that we should keep the Palestinians in the front of our minds at all times, and their plight, and the genocide that's being that's been going on in Gaza. But that doesn't mean that we should agree with Hamas or not look at other things that are happening. Nothing happens in a hug box. Nothing happens in a vacuum. And so this comment said, you can be pro-Palestinian without defending and downplaying the actions of Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. And someone really went, no, you literally can't. I don't know if maybe I'll go benefit of the doubt that maybe they're just being disingenuous and like uncritical in the case of people that are like, you know what I mean? Maybe they are just against pro-Palestinian activists and think that they're all Hamas, Hezbollah, or Houthis. But if this person is pro-Palestinian and really thinks this, I just think that it's like ridiculous, and that more people need to realize that like you need to have a nuanced perspective on anything if you're going to like even try and talk about it. And I found I saw this, people were talking about this, and I found him interesting. He's a Gaza-born peace and human rights advocate, and he had these two posts that were relevant that he posted recently. He had posted another one apparently, or it had maybe been deleted. I don't know. Someone was talking about it on Reddit, and I couldn't find it, but I found these other two that he posted within the last month. So this was on April 9th. In their own words, Gazans are crying out, "Is anyone in the pro-Palestine movement even listening?" And then for nearly 3 weeks, we've heard tens of thousands of Gazans chanting at protests against Hamas rule. Hamas are terrorists. Release the hostages. We don't want Hamas. Al Jazeera, leave now. Now, here are the personal testimonies, individual Gazans crying out for help against their oppressors. Is anyone in the pro-Palestinian movement even listening?
الناس الديارات الناس الدبابات معي الدمار معي القتل بدنا هدنة بدنا السلام تبع ايدك حماس اليهود تبع ايدك تبع ايدك احنا بدنا حماس دمرتنا حماس قتلت اولادنا.
ولكم في القصاص حياة يا أولي الألباب لعلكم تتقون. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في الحديث القدسي عن رب العزة: يا عبادي إني حرمت الظلم على نفسي وجعلته بين.
And I think if you want to look through these, they're very. His page has a lot of really poignant stuff, and it's and again, it's not to say that Israel's good in any way. And this post was a very good illustration of that. The bombings killed thousands of innocent people. I too have lost many friends in this war, people who had nothing to do with Hamas. A balance is needed. Hamas is a terror regime, but that does not mean that Israel can do whatever it wants. And I feel like, honestly, this is almost like the perspective that Ethan has had. And like the fact that it mirrors actual like Gazans, it is just so like, I don't want to even say it's funny because of how like disheartening and like horrific like the things are that are happening. But the fact that like you see that there is like this perspective like is just so like it's so damning to these people that want to call themselves activists. And yeah, I know that they'll probably just say this guy is a paid opposition or whatever. It's and I don't know, having to downplay it I think proves that you're like working hard, I think. Because obviously that isn't all of Gaza or the West Bank, all of the Palestinians' viewpoint. But the fact that it is one of them, I think, is like just so poignant, because how can you then be like you're a baby killing Zionist and this and that? Like it's just so ridiculous. People want to get rid of Hamas. Hamas is horrible. I think we can kind of just leave it there. But yeah, that's that. Now we're gonna watch. Before we watch the debate, I saw this. So iDubbbz attacked Ethan Klein. I ate a shoe. Gokanaru. I mean, he'll explain.
People who don't know what the fuck they're talking about are claiming that iDubbbz is going to be making a content cop on Ethan Klein. Delusional. Not happening. If that happens, I will eat a shoe.
YouTuber named Gokanaru promised to eat a shoe.
Gokanaru, he said, I'll literally eat a shoe.
Gokanaru saying, I'm going to eat my own shoe.
I've made a continual lapse in my judgment. A fucking flip-flop, LGBTQ sneaker. No gimmicks, no bullshit. These are shoes, okay? Yes, this one's for a fucking Build-A-Bear. I think
I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. Don't worry. I wanted to make sure that he actually did it.
this is just a normal flip-flop. Oh, I'm gonna break my teeth on camera. Oh, that's not gonna be easy. Bruh. Warning, this product may contain chemicals known to cause cancer, birth defects, or other reproductive harm. Peep the drip, bro. Let's get back to it.
Oh no, he's not going to be able to have babies now. Goat can't get pregnant anymore. But I do want to, I just want to see how far he got. So he decided on eating both of them? Did he eat both?
Ah! My teeth, bro. My poor teeth. Oh my god, my tooth, bro. By the way, I'm wearing this beautiful piece of Gokanaru merch right now. Escape. You can go to gokamerch.com and you can buy this shirt right now. Ethan's talking about me. Well, what is Ethan saying? What's good, bro?
I mean, he has to be a man of his word. Gokanaru, he looks like some... he looks like that he was drawn from memory. Like, he doesn't look like a person. He looks like somebody trying to remember what a person looked like.
What you gotta say? I'm eating a fucking shoe because of you. No, I'm kidding. Because of damn Ian or whatever. I can't rip it. Wait. Okay. Cheers.
Actually having to pass this is insane. How much of it did he eat?
This may look...
What? I don't understand what the point of
it's not
even attempting this was. He should have just like got a little Barbie shoe and just done it like a pill. He's like, yeah, was this worth it? Like, maybe he got some donations. Maybe it was all worth it. I don't know if it's gonna pay for the hospital bill later to get his stomach pumped though.
Bad. This lace though, I don't think that's gonna go down. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Ah, look at those teeth marks, bro. Holy shit. Oh, I got a chunk out. You've eaten multiple shoes. I'll eat your fucking shoe if you don't quit talking me down from fulfilling a damn promise that I made, okay? That's what you need to understand. There are those with principles and those without.
I think Gok's got some hazels, some baby hazels. Beautiful stuff. How far did he get?
That's not how you eat in a public place. Again, I feel the shift in my spine, bro. I can't get through this fucking heel. Holy fuck, my phone's gonna die. I really don't want this stream to end, honestly. Ah, shit. Get 1 sec, fuck me. Ah, shit. I need to plug. Ah, fuck, okay. I'm hoping this doesn't fuck up the audio.
Yeah, exactly. Polly Pocket shoes would have been perfect. But this is definitely an interesting new mukbang meta.
For it.
But here's the real thing I wanted to look at today, because I think we just need to keep breaking down all of the... I'm not going to break down all of Hasan's debates, because that would take too long. But this feels like the best one, because it's, I think, might be his most recent, unless he's argued with some chatters or something. But it showcases that all the ways he tries to run and hide, and I feel like there's a big chance that he is just going to try and overwhelm Ethan with random facts about Palestine and Israel to try and like negate from the actual like topic at hand. He's gonna be like, "Oh, you think I'm a terrorist sympathizer? Do you even know what the founder of Hezbollah's name is? Do you even know who the founder of the Houthis was?" I just don't. That's like the thing that I'm like not afraid of, but I think they need to be prepared for, to just like shut those down as quickly as possible and talk and like frame the conversation. I saw someone suggest they should get Sam Cedar to moderate, and I think that would be interesting, but I don't know how willing he's going to be. Oh no, Diorio already talked about this? Fuck. Come on, man. It's a year-old video. Well, you're gonna rewatch it again. Sorry. I feel like he'll purposefully be obtuse and infuriating in a show. Basically, I just don't know how he can frame it though, because it's going to be presented that way. It's never going to appear like he's being good faith or being genuine in it, like at all. Like if all he does is try and reframe everything as Ethan being Zionist without having any actual like clips or anything, because basically what Ethan needs to do is pull all the clips of Hasan, make sure he has the context ready, and then also pull all of the possible clips of Ethan being a Zionist and Islamophobic with their relative context. That way Ethan can denounce the things that he disagrees with and watch as Hasan basically flounders and goes, well, those things actually aren't that bad, so it kind of doesn't matter. But yeah, let's get started.
I confronted Twitch's biggest political streamer when it comes to his pattern of behavior of covering breaking news. He will immediately jump to conclusions, acting like he's an expert on stuff he knows nothing about.
I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh, shock.
An Israeli airstrike hit the Al Ahli hospital.
Saying, this is a hill I will die on. Russia cannot launch an urban counterinsurgency war in a neighboring country. This is why I've been saying Putin won't invade Ukraine. When chatters disagreed with him, citing actual sources, he dismisses or demonizes them by calling them racist or genocidal.
IDF didn't bomb the hospital. Change title. IDF didn't bomb the hospital. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Fuck you. Fuck you, dude. Why are you... It's ridiculous. Like, oh, Hamas run health ministry. Well, you know how they are. You know how those fucking dirty Arabs are. They lie all the time. You know what I mean?
You were so right. They added 7,000 new troops. So what's going to end up happening is that by April, this is going to be done. And at that point, it'll be fucking too late. Because all you fucking NATO simps, you've already made up your mind. You probably already are leaving the fucking community in good riddance.
And when he's finally proven wrong, which he's been wrong on
I don't want to be that guy because it's what they do, where Hasan goes, oh, the anti-Semitism you see is just on Twitter, but then wants to talk about like Islamophobia and all this stuff. And obviously they're both real. Like neither one of them is like invalid, but I just find it so funny that that's like always his angle is that it's just Islamophobic and
every major geopolitical issue in the past year, he doesn't apologize. Instead, he shifts the goalpost and doubles down. Sometimes he does it by speculating missiles.
You're so right, balls, chat. If they just play the content nuke, I don't know how willing Hasan's going to be to talk about stuff in the video. Like, he's going to end up just trying to be like, no, you wanted to talk about the content nuke, let's talk about this issue. So he's going to stop, instead of talking about his framing of it, he's going to be like, what did they actually do, though? What was the actual battle that happened?
Missile technology he knows nothing about.
I'm gonna put this side by side. I want you to fucking understand something, okay? So that is a JDAM called on.
I could say with my very limited knowledge that it's definitely not like a nuke. Like it's definitely not, what is it, Fat Man? What is it? Little Boy? Whatever it's called. It wasn't one of those. I can say that for sure. But I'm not a munitions expert.
On. Do you think that seems similar to one another?
Other times he justifies his poor reporting by using whataboutisms.
Ultimately, even if it wasn't Israel that bombed this hospital, which I do maintain it is, okay? But even if it wasn't, okay, 500 of the last confirmed kills did not come from Israel. So what? Are you just mad only when Hamas kills people then? Because that's what you're saying at that point. You know what I mean? You're saying literally, I do not care when Israel kills someone. I only care when Hamas kills someone.
This is my debate with Hasan Piker.
And yet motherfuckers still always say that I am actually fake.
It's cause you are. You're a fake socialist, a fake news reporter. That's why I like real things, like this quality Holzkern watch made partially from natural materials, making it stand out in a really special way. Holzkern is innovating the watch game for men and women with over 1,000 different designs. This one's made from cobalt and walnut, providing a really unique look that I've never seen before. I went to a wedding with my lady, pimped myself out in some Holzkern jewelry, and I think I stole the show. I read my cobalt watch with a warm walnut stainless steel ring, and grabbed a Holsker necklace to tie it all together. And it wouldn't have been right for me to leave the lady hanging. I got her this stunning blue and gold necklace to match with me. From watches and rings to sunglasses and necklaces, Holskern's going to give you something that's high quality and stands out. And with over 1 million happy customers and free express shipping worldwide, Holskern is the perfect gift for the holidays. Be sure to go to holskern.com/Willie Mack Show, because when you buy the first watch, you'll get the next one half off.
Ooh,
Thank
what a
you,
deal.
Holskern, for sponsoring this video.
Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia. I'll be making f***ing dough in the pizzeria.
Now this isn't going to...
Will Filthy Frank return? Will Joe G dissolve and become Filthy Frank again in the midst of this conflict? I cringe whenever Hasan says something not in English. I don't know if he does it, but I don't know how he does it, but when he says names or things or words in other languages, he makes it sound so douchey. It sounds like when some white lady wants to order Mexican food. Can I get an enchilada? Can I please have one enchilada, please? And it's like, I get it that you're trying to be respectful to the naming, but you can just call it an enchilada and we'll move on. Can you double up my tortillas? You like how I said that? My tortillas.
going to be the full debate that's already been uploaded again by Hasan.
What I'm saying is it's like he wants cookie points for saying it properly.
Hasan's clip channel. There's not really a point of doing that again here. This video is going to be about my perspective and catching Hasan in many of the lies he makes during our debate. Now, the debate started with him doing some classic Hasanabi on-the-ground journalism, meaning he didn't take the time to look up anything. He's just talking out of his ass.
So I am not very familiar with what you do, but I believe you've done a couple videos about how dog shit I am, I think.
Did you watch the videos?
No, of course not. I have a policy of not really watching videos such as that one, specifically because it will frustrate me.
I've gotten numb to the criticism. Like, it's not. As a matter of fact, I seek it out now.
You want to debate about a video you didn't even watch?
Why? Yeah, of course. You made the video. I'm not like debating a random person about a video I didn't watch. You made the fucking video, so let's hear.
I know, but that kind of like
that
kind of links up to like my big criticism with you. Is that you don't actually put in the bare minimum effort to research anything before you jump to conclusions. That's why your tweet when you're like, "Hey, I want to debate Willie."
Do you really consider me watching a fucking dumbass YouTube video from a drama farming channel to be doing research? I don't need to do research
this is what you're
on a video.
About. You're going into a topic you don't know anything about.
Brother, just give me what you want to say. Give me what you want to say. The video is about me, isn't it?
Yeah,
so fucking talk to me about what the points of the video are and let's discuss it. The do you mean?
My main criticism.
Why would I have to research a video about myself?
Because you don't know any of my criticisms. So
yeah, I was gonna say you can't like, if you knew all of the critiques about yourself, you probably wouldn't be critiqued that much. You know what I mean? If you already knew all of the all of the reasons people disliked you, I think you'd probably be better about like framing yourself in a way that doesn't get as much hate.
So now I have to provide all the context and do all the legwork for a debate you challenged me on. And it allows him to lie to his audience because they don't know the framing either.
I have to watch a dumbass talk shit for 25 minutes and jerk off like all the.
You can help Shriners Children's unlock these superpowers to
Willie, what the hell?
Talking points that I've heard about myself over and over again. Incredibly stupid. Give me the takes and we'll talk about it. Okay, go on.
Yeah, my take is that you have a pattern of behavior where breaking news happens, you jump to wild conclusions talking way too confidently.
Okay, give me an example.
Who disagrees with
example.
You.
Give me an example.
All right,
are you going to talk about
There was reports that Ukraine was going to be invaded by Russia.
This is why it's so stupid for him to not watch the video, because that's the thing. Yeah, the only way that they can like do it properly with him and Ethan is if they watch the video, because or if Ethan basically has all of the points from the video bullet pointed ready to like, you know, run down the list, because he's going to do this. He's just going to keep like going like, well, how so? And then once it's like, oh, well, you're talking about this specific issue, I know what he's going to do immediately. I know it's because I already watched it, but he's just going to start talking about, well, what did happen in that conflict? What was the actual truth then? Since you know so much about it.
You confidently said, no, it wasn't, despite all the reports, then Russia invades. And then instead of apologizing and correcting the story, you then
Wait, I didn't apologize and correct the story?
You justify the invasion.
Wait,
right?
I didn't apologize and correct the story?
Let me finish my.
Wait, hold on.
No,
this is important.
This is the pattern of behavior.
Because you said you. Wait. Hold on. You're the one who doesn't do his research because I did apologize.
Hasan is clearly setting the tone for just how bad faith he's going to be. He thinks he's catching me in a lie when he's not. He just won't let me explain myself.
I did apologize, and I did correct the record.
You
I appreciate
just
didn't fucking see it.
You kind of walked it back too. It's
Wait,
in
no.
the video.
No. I very clearly apologized for it. You didn't see that because all you do is look at fucking clip chits.
It's in the video. It's in one of my videos.
So why did you just now bring it up as though I've never apologized?
I didn't. You cut me off before I finished. Hasan did apologize for his baseless claims saying Russia was never going to invade Ukraine. But in that same apology video, he would make more baseless claims, saying Russia was never going to attack Kiev.
There's been a lot of information that has been wrong, completely wrong. And there's still a lot of information that the Western State Department is pumping out by way of mainstream media about like Russia is going to go and overtake Kiev and they're going to go into Ukraine. The reason why I'm saying a lot of the information that's coming out of the State Department is wrong or outright false is because what I'm showing you right now is literally fucking people talking about like bombing Kiev. Okay, their take was Ukraine is going to be invaded, Kiev is going to be invaded by Russia. That is insane. That's psychotic.
The top comment of his apology video is, I was wrong, but the West keeps lying and saying they're going to attack Kiev. Well, that apology aged like milk. It's not much of an apology if you do these.
I mean, seeing Hasan's apologies kind of like makes sense as to why like Frogan apologizes the way she does. Like they all kind of do this thing of like, well, I might have phrased things wrong. I might have been slightly mistaken, but I'm just doing what I think is right. I'm just following a righteous cause, and you're actually just trying to disenfranchise me, who's trying to help the disenfranchised. It's ridiculous.
Same exact thing immediately afterwards. That's my point. But he won't let me explain that because he knows it'll make him look bad.
Why did you say I never apologized? Why did you just say
because
I never
you then
apologized?
Justify more. You then make more outrageous claims.
I'm sorry. Why did you say I never apologized if I did and you just repeated after I said no, I did apologize. You moved the goalpost. You moved the goalpost and you tried to fucking act like I was just backtracking.
I didn't move the goalpost, dude. This is exactly my criticism.
You did.
I didn't move the goalpost. He just never let me finish my point. Is this what you're going to do? You're going to talk over me when I'm giving you the answer?
If you don't want to watch Hasan's debate with Ethan, maybe wait till Saturday and I'll probably watch the whole thing and do it then. And just do like a reaction because I know it's going to be long. Because I don't think I'll do it for like the stream on Monday. But yeah, I think I'm going to do that on Saturday probably.
No. I'm giving you a very straightforward answer. I did do that.
Okay.
I did cover your apology.
So you said I did apologize, but it wasn't good enough for you. Is that what you're saying?
And I showed you apologizing for making your completely, like, fairly baseless claims, jumping to conclusions, and then.
Where did you hear Sam's calling in? Like Sam's calling in today at 4?
You followed that up by making more baseless claims, jumping to conclusions.
I'm sorry, you fucking brainlet. Give me what the fucking inconsistency was. You made the video.
I didn't realize that in debates it was illegal to take 2 minutes and look things up.
What is the claim?
I gotta go pull it up in the video because you didn't.
You didn't prepare for your own fucking. You didn't prepare where you were literally coming on here to talk about not Israel-Palestine, mind you, but about Ukraine, and you didn't even fucking prepare with talking points.
I'll talk
really?
to you about Israel-Palestine. That'll be the next point. It's you doing the same thing again.
Oh
well, dude,
my
how
God.
do you impromptu ask me to a debate
Felix.
this minute? If I had a day to prepare, I would have everything, but you didn't. From my point of view, he invited me on to debate right now. I don't have all my timestamps listed out for my year-old video, and then when I sent him the link, he said he didn't want to watch it. All right, you got to give me a minute.
Okay.
This
Are
is
you trying to
research.
link
You
me your
haven't
video?
done
I'm
this
not going to watch your
before.
video. Just say it with your mouth, with your words. Go ahead.
I have to watch my video to see what my receipt is because this is a year old. Right? I didn't know we.
Ooh, if they said that on Majority Report, then I'm going to assume it's true because I feel like Sam is probably more like punctual than Ethan is.
I didn't know where this
You don't
whole
even know your
conversation
own
was
video.
going.
You don't know the contents of your own fucking video.
I made it
Really?
a year ago, bro.
You think you're
I like how
doing a
this
good
is
job
job
right
for
now?
you when instead
Do
of
you think
letting
you're
me
doing a good
find the
job right now
receipt.
defending your position? Like it's
Yeah,
such a
I do,
profound
bro.
position.
You're doing
It's such a
exactly what I
profound
expect you to
position
do.
that you don't even fucking remember your own talking points.
I'm trying to get it for him, but he won't stop talking.
Oh
him
my
yelling in
Lord.
my ear
This is
while
what I'm
I'm
saying.
trying to
All the
listen to my
information
video
is
to
coming
hear
out of
what
the
he
State
said.
Department.
He clearly doesn't actually want me to pull it up. I'm
be,
sweating.
you know,
He's demanding the
change
clip,
for
but
the
I
fire
can't
off.
hear.
Tell me what it fucking was.
Bad faith in me into the ground.
Go ahead. I'm here. All right now. If you are genuinely interested in truth and research or whatever,
And
you have this wonderful opportunity. You have this wonderful
you won't
opportunity to
stop- you won't
ask me
get
personally.
Get it to pull it up. I'm trying to listen, but I'm hearing you twice. Once from my video and once from you just bitching in my ear.
Oh my god.
So you gotta wait. Yeah, that's how
This is
research
the
works.
greatest.
It's a
This is
little
the
slow.
greatest brain power we got, folks.
You're laughing at me for doing research.
It is funny because Hasan is just going, remember it on the fly. Just fucking speak out of your ass like I do. It's kind of the whole argument is that he doesn't have poignant points. Everything he says is just like conflation and like, you know, expanding upon things that he read on headlines. Like there, it's almost never like actually like substantive.
I love that he's like, I don't remember my talking points. I have to watch my own YouTube video.
So when I finally confirm the clip and get my point across, he gets mad at me because he knows I'm right. So he asked me the most ridiculous question to derail the conversation. It was in your video. I was wrong about Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And he said people are acting like Kiev's getting bombed. Like that would never happen. And then it's literally did happen.
Okay.
So you're just again making more you're making your apology video about being wrong and making baseless claims that you know nothing about.
This is your
and then you end
take.
up being wrong. It's a pattern of behavior.
This is your
you have.
take from February 22nd, 2022.
Yeah, 'cause you
another
do it
thing
over
that I
and
was
over again. You've done it since then.
I've done
You've
it since
several
then.
times since
People
then,
are acting
yeah.
like Kiev's getting bombed. It did happen. You're right about
It
that.
did, and you
I
said it
also,
wouldn't. So
do
it's
you
just
think that I didn't
another
cover?
example of you
Wait, hold
being
on. Hold on. Do you think that I didn't cover Kiev getting bombed? Like I hid that?
Hasan really is the worst. If he does that during the debate with Ethan, I might punch a hole through my screen. Hearing him go, blah, 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 blah. No, let me cut you off. Let me cut you off real quick. Blah, 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 blah.
That or something?
No, you did, but it's your accusation saying it doesn't, saying it won't happen. There's no way it'll happen.
Yeah. Do you think that bombing Kiev specifically, it was what Russia did? Do you think that that was a good thing for Russia to do?
What the fuck? So apparently you can't criticize Hasan for his poor coverage of Ukraine without also thinking Kiev should be bombed. Makes sense.
Do you have any genuine
I hope you
opinions?
don't think it was a good thing.
Do you have any genuine opinions about
Yeah, my opinion
Russia's
is that was
involvement
bad.
in the Ukraine?
My opinion on that is that you should.
Yeah, and this is what I mean, is he's just going to try and be like, well, you don't understand. You calling me a terrorist is you supporting Israel. That's what it is. Me watching a Houthi music video is just me supporting the Palestinian cause. But you coming at me is you being a Zionist scumbag baby murderer. That's all. That's as simple as it is. I just don't I swear everything goes in one ear and out the other, and then into this dude's vape and in his mouth. Why is he here?
Shouldn't be talking about shit.
Brother,
you know
hold up.
about.
We're having a conversation about Ukraine and Russia. We're having a conversation about Ukraine and Russia, and I'm asking you a specific question. I'm asking you a specific question.
My conversation's about you, because my videos are about you and your pattern of behavior and your poor reporting. Look how mad he is. And this is what he tries to do the entire debate. Ignore the actual criticism and pivot to unrelated talking points. He says Russia had not bombed Kiev at the time.
Russia had not bombed Kiev at the time. That's number one.
Honestly, what they need to do is if Hasan starts doing that, just flood his ass with sound bites. Just start fucking playing all the like different sound bites over each other. That would be the perfect way to combat it.
Of course they hadn't. The criticism is that you baselessly predicted otherwise. What's that have to do with my criticism? He then says once it happened, he covered it.
Number two, Of course, as soon as that did happen, I covered it. Of course I did.
Again, what's that have to do with my criticism? He gets mad at me for calling him out on this.
Because that's what I'm doing.
The
I'm
criticism
covering the
isn't
news.
that you didn't cover it. The criticism is that you're making baseless claims you don't know anything about, talking so confidently, as if you got a whole fucking research team behind you, when you don't. You're talking.
Here's the thing: is I think that the problem stems from the levels that Willie speaks from. Saying you know nothing about, it's like you should just say you know very little about, because that's the thing Hasan's gonna like cling on to, is go like, well, I've been studying this for years. I've been doing this for over a year. I've been researching this. You mean you've been watching like 5-minute news clips? Like you know what I mean? It's, you don't know the actual like intricacies of the war, and that's like the point that's being made. But just saying you know nothing about it is what Hasan's gonna hinge on.
Talking out your ass. This is the
brother.
class.
Do you have a whole research team behind you? Because
it's
you're
all
not.
Me. I actually did research just now, and you could barely be patient enough to sit there and listen.
I really don't see Sam doing a debate with Ethan, because I don't think, even if there is like, I don't know, I just don't think Sam Cedar is going to be the guy that's like, well, I think that actually Israel does need to be destroyed and you are a Zionist baby murdering scumbag. Well, Ethan, you know that you're a Zionist, right? That would be honestly really funny if he said that. I'd be like, whoa, mask off.
Through it. Hasan's main argument is that he shouldn't be criticized for his bad predictions because they're based on solid sources.
Did you look into, okay, what sources I was looking at and where I was getting this opinion from?
His source that Russia won't invade Ukraine is from December. I'm criticizing him because in February he was uploading videos like this.
I'll change this every day to Ukraine has still not been invaded by Russia. Every day. To make sure that the wishes of these fucking weirdo, like, I'm actually a sock them and you're a fucking tanky idiots on the internet. Will, yeah, change it to Russia still has yet to invade Ukraine.
As of the 18th of February, 6 days before the invasion, it was insane to have this opinion because Russian troops were lining up with medical tents on the border. Here's Vosh from the same day.
Bridges are being built, field hospitals constructed, and all of that, I think, is quite worrying.
Dude, that's that. Dude. If they're building field hospitals is a pretty committed indication of being willing to bring about like prolonged warfare. That isn't just moving your troops to the area. If they're building war infrastructure like that, like
I know you meant to put Jewish voice, but that just sounds so much funnier. Sam is the approved Jewish. Everyone on Hasan's side has been insisting Ethan needs to debate Sam Cedar because they see him as the good Jew. That's the part I don't get, because I feel like anybody that talks about Israel-Palestine, they really do just talk about the like things that are happening, the bombs that get dropped, the murders, all the deaths that happen. Not many people put as much of like a moral weight as like Hasan does. It feels like Hasan puts much more of like a, well, you need to dismantle and destroy what, the attacking force, rather than just like the rational, like, humanitarian, like, oh, we're feeling for these people that were just attacked. Like, Hasan very much does have that, like, what are we doing next? And too bad Vaush was a lolly horse porn enthusiast. He had the right response here.
Hasan be like, it's just a meme, it's just a meme.
Hasan's opinion was a joke at the time. It's not only in hindsight like he'd want you to believe. Hasan didn't have the strong foundational analysis he claims he had. It's him rewriting history in real time.
On the editorial side of my coverage, okay, if I make a prediction or a speculation, it can sometimes be wrong. That speculation is all.
They need one person too. Ooh, this is gold. I'm just thinking of all the little things they need to do. They need to have one person watching Hasan's chat the entire time. Just have one of the mods or something watching the chat of Hasan's stream of it, and just send the messages of being like, this person just said this person just said this person just said this, just so Hasan has to go, and we just banned them like 30 times as many as we get, because these aren't that bad, but it just, the shit talk that comes from his chat is so funny, because none of them ever like talk about anything like of actual criticism. They just go, haha, Willie, no script. It wasn't even reporting, it was analysis. Isn't that worse? Isn't that more feeding into what Willie's saying, that doing an analysis of something is kind of, I don't know. Doing an analysis feels worse to me than doing just like a reporting of what you've read.
Always going to be on foundational analysis that is solid. My speculation on what may happen, okay, in the future is not always going to be correct. Everybody understands this.
Usually wrong, yeah.
It's usually wrong. The only example you brought over.
You said the CIA is why Iran bombed the U.S.
Do
base,
you
bro.
attack on U.S. consulate in Iran?
Wait, did Hasan say that? Oh, Ethan's going to debate Sam Cedar. They're probably going to end up agreeing. Ethan is just going to XYZ him to make Sam Cedar agree with him. So you mean Ethan's going to actually fucking like present the arguments like and not add a bunch of moral weight and say that things are like evil and horrid, and because like, yes, things are disgusting and terrible and horrible, but we have to remember too that it's like these are like historical events happening, and when we look into the future, like when we're in the future looking in the past, like we need to have like a level of like separation, and being able to do that now when we are not like involved like physically in the conflict is also like important. It's what builds
happening now. False flag, 100%. MEK false flag. MEK actors, 0% chance that is so fucking sussy. Oh no. Oh, that's what's going on in Iraq, the American base that was under attack. No fucking shot. When I say MEK, I just
Sam's not an idiot until he talks to Ethan and the chat, and Hasan's chat decides that he is.
Mean CIA. I said MEK, but I mean CIA.
The only information available at the time is from the US State Department. He's talking out of his ass. He then implies that you're racist for listening to the State Department.
Rumors saying the missiles were launched from Iran. I mean, dog. Come on, bro. Yes, dude, I'm wrong, okay? It's probably Iran. You're right. It's probably Iran fucking blowing shit up for no reason. You're right. Let's believe that instead.
Hasan's defense to this is to say he doesn't remember.
What base are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about with the Iranian thing. What?
This dude's literally fucking falling asleep. What the fuck is he doing here? Hasan, let him leave. Let your friend go home.
What?
Or give him a more comfy chair. Why is he sitting in like a fucking high school chair? Like this is like a chair that you'd get out of like literally a high school detention room.
Base are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about with the Iranian thing. What?
Iran struck a U.S. base, and then you said it's the CIA. No shot. It's the CIA.
Wait, I'm so.
I know you don't know because you use so much bullshit all the time. You can't even remember.
Yeah, perhaps.
Wow, you don't remember something from a year ago. Crazy, because when I did that, I got nailed to the cross for it. When you do it, it's no problem. Cool. What's frustrating is no matter how many examples I bring up of Hasan jumping to conclusions when it comes to breaking news, he always frames himself as coming from a sound place.
So for instance, like the missile hit the Gaza hospital, both sides blamed each other. That's the breaking news, right? And instead of waiting.
See, I feel like Hasan's going to yell at Ethan too, but the best way to like combat that is to just let him scream himself out and then be like, now what? Now what are we going to do? Like, let him scream himself out for the minute and then go, okay, you done? And then make your point. Because then if he starts screaming over you again, it's clear who the, like, insane person was in the conversation.
For more information, you jump to conclusions saying it was 100% Israel. 100%.
Okay.
You were so confident.
Good
You were
point.
deleting all the chatters.
Good point. When I said that, I didn't just go, oh, I have no other opinion on this matter. I simply think Israel definitely did this because I want Israel to have definitely done this. The reason why I said this, and you do this regularly, okay? When I say something on this stream, okay, oftentimes, especially if it's
Did you
a
watch the
developing
video?
story,
Like, how do you know I say this stuff?
especially if it's a developing story, when I say something on an issue that is happening, I look to all of the circumstantial evidence on the matter. You're bringing this up, and this is really important to understand. One, all of the
Is it? You
circumstantial
say that
evidence
every
at the
time, but it never is.
Okay, all of the circumstantial evidence at the time, of course, after the 6,000 bombs that Israel had dropped on Gaza, a densely populated open-air prison, the 6,001st bomb, understandably, was going to be an Israeli bomb. To this day, we still do not know whether this was an Islamic Jihad rocket that was misfired or whether or not this was actually
it's an
an
investigation,
artillery shell that might have hit a fuel tank, or even some other kind of munition that Israel
So
may
why
have
did
deployed.
you say it was
Now, the
100%
reason why
Israel and then call everyone genocidal freaks that disagreed with you?
You don't actually
called everyone
watch the
genocidal
content
freaks.
beyond.
What? That's why you did it, because he doesn't watch the content? Weird reason, but okay.
Demonize them.
Because, first of all, because they
Just
are.
like and there it is. If you believe in the overwhelming investigations that say this was not an Israeli bombing, then you're genocidal. He's proving my point.
On the editorial side of my coverage, if I make a prediction or a speculation, it can sometimes be wrong. That speculation is always going to be on foundational
remember when-
analysis that is
I got
solid.
another-
IDF didn't bomb the hospital? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it fucking did. You fucking piece of shit. Yes, it absolutely did. Fuck you. Fuck you. You genocidal scumbag. You have no fucking dignity. You do not have an ounce of dignity inside of your soul. But it doesn't matter. Terrible that the people died, but I encourage you to look into where Hamas was firing. You fucking piece of shit. You garbage, monstrous scumbag.
Is Hasan really just a sociopath? His anger doesn't even seem real. Like, his anger feels performative. Like, if he actually feels this way and feels like these people, like it's just, the energy behind it feels fake. Am I wrong?
Of your soul. But it doesn't matter. Terrible that the people died, but I encourage you to look into where Hamas was firing. You fucking piece of shit. You garbage, monstrous scumbag. You garbage, monstrous scumbag. You said IDF didn't bomb the hospital, and then you said it did. Still a piece of shit genocide denier, 100%. But no, it is not a fucking misfire.
Guys, up until this moment of the stream, his foundational analysis was a tweet.
The number is now at 887, according to on-the-ground reports. My friend in Gaza tells me I smell the death now.
When bringing this up to Hasan, he shifts the topic from his poor reporting to the Israeli government, virtue signaling about the war. He does this because he knows he's...
If he's roided out, then he really isn't hitting the gym, because he should have way more gains than he does if he's on roids.
So why did you say it was
now, the
100%
reason why,
Israel and then call everyone genocidal freaks that disagreed with you?
You don't actually
called everyone
watch the
genocidal
content
freaks.
beyond.
You demonize them.
Because, first of all, because they
Just
are.
like you do every time,
Because the
by
Israeli
way. You
government
do
is
this all the
genocidal. What the
time.
fuck are you
This is
talking
your
about,
thing.
you dumb
This is your
fuck?
fucking thing.
4,500 children have been ruthlessly
Oh, now
slaughtered. You
shift
think
the
that's not
topic again.
genocidal?
Yeah, shift the topic again
Oh,
to
the
something
one
I didn't
hospital
even
might.
say.
Wait, Willie, shut the fuck up and listen, dumbass.
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
really
no, go
think?
on, do it.
Do you really think that if one fucking hospital
When I tell you that you should write every
Willie
wasn't bombed by Israel and this was a fucking actual misfire, that all of a sudden means that that all of a sudden means that Israel's not doing ethnic cleansing?
Right now, you're doing it in real time.
Dude,
It's
just
hilarious.
fucking answer my question.
Not even
Do
what I
you
said.
think?
It's not what I said. He's derailing the entire conversation again. It's weaselly debate.
Demonizing me right now, you're doing it in real time.
Dude,
It's
just
hilarious.
fucking answer my
Not
question.
even
Do
what I
you
said.
think?
It's not what I wonder if he's watching it as he's talking and he turns around. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So, and then keeps going. Because it's at a certain point in the video. I said, he's derailing the entire conversation again. It's weaselly debate tactics.
Do you think that the ethnic cleansing campaign, if you take out the
And that's the thing too, yeah. It's not about being wrong. It's that he never admits when he's wrong. He's never able to just go, yeah, I got that wrong. My bad. He has to I don't even know what to how to how to word it. It's just like he has to clarify every little detail as to the reason that he got it wrong and how in reality the thing he said was right in the moment. To the best of everything that he could know in that very moment, he was right. But it ended up being untrue, so he was just lied to and misled. He's just a sweet little boy.
Bombing, okay?
Yeah.
If you take out the one time that this hospital's bombed, okay? If you take that out, do you think out of the equation, do you think Israel is all of a sudden not doing ethnic cleansing in Gaza?
No, that's not what I said. Look, this is what you're trying to.
I'm
make me
asking
say.
you. I'm
I
asking
didn't-
you. Okay,
I
then
just said no. I just said no. And
okay, good.
Dude,
I'm
what
glad. I'm
saying
glad.
is when
Okay,
people
so what's
look
your
at the reports and,
okay?
and it
Got it.
matters
Got it.
if we're
No.
wrong,
Got
right?
it.
Hasan, throughout the stream, likes to push the narrative that I took him out of context. How would he know? He didn't even watch the video.
The reason why I said this, and you do this regularly, okay? When I say something on this stream, okay, oftentimes, especially if it's
Did you
a
watch the
developing
video?
story,
Like, how do you know I say this stuff?
especially if
It is narcissism. It really is. He thinks he knows what everybody's point is going to be. He thinks he knows better than anybody else, and he thinks that because the whole thing is like, they say to be the best debater, to have the best argument, you need to know the other side like better than they do. Hasan doesn't know the other side better than they do, but he thinks that he does, and so he has the confidence to like present it, even when it's like clearly wrong, and he will like fight to the death about it, even though he is obviously wrong.
if it's a developing story, if I misspeak, apparently you can use it in your commentary as though it's like super serious. So anyway,
I didn't name one example that I did that.
I don't know. I don't watch your videos, so
Yeah, so don't make shit up.
If I did do that, it should be easy to prove. He won't because I didn't. It's a false narrative. If anything, the more context I add, the worse it gets for him.
If you look at a 30-second
That's the
broadcast,
criticism. It's not 30 seconds. You keep saying that. It's
okay,
not
if
30
you look at a
seconds.
5-minute
It's not 30
portion of a
seconds.
fucking
You're fucking
brother,
was the
brother, you're not
hospital
listening to what I'm
bombed
saying.
by Israel.
On the
Gaza
very
hospital
same
bombed by Israel. 800 people dead. That was your stream. What did
Okay.
I do to title it that? I didn't do that.
Okay.
I didn't clip that out of
Can you
context.
please listen
that
to
was
me?
you.
First of all, I never said
Because what you're
800.
saying
I
is
don't think I
irrelevant.
said
You're just
800.
going
That's
on
so
about
fucking stupid.
random.
He did say 800.
Update from 8 minutes ago. Between 200 and 300 people killed in Gaza hospital airstrike according to Hamas-run health ministry from 1 hour ago. Wait, what? No, the number is like 800 now.
And when confronted by viewers to change the title of the stream because he was wrong, he didn't.
Okay, here's the clip.
Uncle Sam Cedar. Breaking news. It seems E will talk/debate with Uncle Sam Cedar. Great. Amazing. Wait, what? Debate? They will most likely agree with one another. He is a committed anti-Zionist. Ethan, I mean. I'm joking, but that is probably what he'll do. He'll greatly present himself as being a victim of vicious.
Then why did you want them to talk to begin with? Because yes, I will say, Hasan did not initially frame it as a debate. He said, I just want you to listen to another Jew. Don't you know, buddy? You got to listen to your little Jew friends. He's better. He'll listen. You'll listen to him. And I know he agrees with me. It's such a weird, I know that he didn't necessarily frame it as a debate. It was the fact that he just wanted him to talk to a Jew that he felt like was in, on his side. But I honestly don't know what Sam Cedar's going to say. I'm very, knowing that he's coming on today, I'm really wondering if it's going to be, I know it's not going to be confrontational at all, but I wonder what they're even going to discuss, because I feel like it's going to just end up being talking about Hasan and his extremism. Because I feel like they're going to go, do you think this? Yeah. Do you think this? Yeah. Why are we talking?
A victim of vicious smears from a lot of people who don't think he's sufficiently pro-Palestinian due to their incredible anti-Semitic opinions, and that he is simply misunderstood, and that he agrees with everything that Sam Cedar says wholeheartedly, and Sam, being the kind and gentle being that he is, will not push super hard to
Basically called Sam a pussy coward in less words. Or in more words, I guess.
Really figure out what Ethan's worldview looks like.
He's not going to push super hard. Why would he? This isn't a conversation he was looking to have to begin with. I feel like he's going to be like, yeah, Ethan, thanks. It's fun. It was a good time. Remember when we shit on Crowder? Fucking great shit. Have a good day.
Yeah, he'll Tim Pool Sam Cedar.
He'll Tim Pool Sam Cedar? I don't know what that's in reference to, but maybe Tim Pool did something.
He doubled down.
IDF didn't bomb the hospital. Change title. IDF didn't bomb the hospital. Yes, it did.
He then lies to me again, saying he was just reporting.
That's my biggest concern is I hope it's just Sam. Or I hope that if Sam does have his co-hosts, he's going to be like, hey, shut the fuck up. Let him finish talking. Because I just don't want to hear fucking people cutting in when Ethan's trying to talk to Sam. Hear Matt Lieb go, well, Ethan, actually, did you know that Israel actually has been doing this shit since the 40s? I keep bringing this up because I just find it to be like the perfect analogy. If you want to compare it to the Nazis, if you want to compare Israel to the Nazis, they did not destroy Germany after World War II. They dismantled the regime and then brought back up the country. Like, it's so ridiculous to think that, oh, just destroy all of Israel. And they'll go, oh, well, it was established for... Germany was established in 1870. Or in 1871 or something, whatever. Like, in the 1870s. Which means that it was only 70 years old when it was Nazi Germany. How old is Israel right now? Like 80 years old? Something like that? It's just so like, it's just such a one-to-one to where if you want to call them Nazis and say that they're doing Nazi-like stuff, we need to dismantle their, like, you know, dismantle the government, figure out how to like destroy the regime so that we can build it back up, maybe pull back the borders a bit the same way that we did with Germany when they had their expansion into Poland and into all these different places. Pull back the borders a bit if necessary. Like, there's ways to do it without just saying, well, Hamas needs to fucking do what they got to do. It's them defending from Israel. It's the only thing that's working.
According what the BBC said.
Okay.
Yeah, give Italy to the Romans. And if we do give Palestine, like if we did go back to pre-Israel, they were under like Ottoman rule. And the Ottomans like basically dissolved after the World Wars too. It's just so like, you guys don't like, I feel like historically they don't understand what they're arguing for. And they're just saying stuff about, because they only know about like the most recent history. And yes, what happened with the British Mandate, terrible, disgusting. Shouldn't have happened. And what they need to do now is figure out a way to like make recompense for the ills of the past.
I was literally repeating what the BBC coverage was. Not only that, but also because like I don't have a direct on the ground. I wasn't.
Well, did the BBC say it was 100% Israel when they blamed each other?
The BBC's original assessment, yes, was that it was most likely an Israeli bombing.
Hasan really liked to hammer me on this point.
Jump to conclusions.
Of course, yeah, I jumped to the same conclusions that the BBC did too.
But if you use the Wayback Machine and go to October 17th on the BBC's website, the BBC clearly reported that that's what Hamas claimed. On the day of the bombing, Hasan was mad that the BBC made this distinction, even calling them racist.
I love that they keep saying Hamas-run health ministry, like it's not the fucking health ministry. It's ridiculous. Like, oh, Hamas-run health ministry. Well, you know how they are. You know.
Okay, this was during the okay. I thought they just donated this directly to Hasan. I didn't realize this was during the like donation stream. That's better. That's okay. That's okay.
The fucking health ministry. It's ridiculous. Like, oh, Hamas-run health ministry.
Not even that getting a $500 donation is bad. It's just like these people. I was about to be like, these people's morals are all out of whack, but that makes more sense, and that is good that they're donating to an actual cause.
Well, you know how they are. You know how those dirty Arabs are. They lie all the time. You know what I mean? They're probably lying again. Is there a fucking moment where Western media will be honest about this? Like, I know
it's also. What do you call that? Is that just being too woke? Because, like, racism is so real. Bigotry is so real. It's alive and it's fervent and things happen. But to hide behind everything as just being racism or Islamophobic or anti-Semitic, or it's like, it's about the actual things that are happening, like the contents of it. You can't just go like, well, you're saying they're lying? Oh yeah, because just Muslims are liars, right? They're just monsters who kill and do terrible things. And it's just like, no, did they lie? Yes or no? That's like, if there's evidence to them lying, then why does it matter?
know we are cruel here in the West. I know we've done so much. We've done so many awful things, like so many unconscionable things. But I really, really thought that there would be at least a little bit of clarity from the media.
Ironic. The BBC reporting what Hamas claims is not the same thing as Hasan saying it for a fact happened and that you're now racist for believing any information that says otherwise.
Your statements, by the way, on this, your fucking bloodlust and your genocidal support for the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians will not be forgotten, okay? I don't know how you will be able to live with yourself for the rest of your fucking life, but you are literally...
See, Hasan is very conspiracy brained. I think that's like very clear. These Nazis love Westerners defending another fascist state. Yeah, Nazis love Westerners.
Literally, personally championing genocide. Shame on you. Shame on you. I want to be as charitable as I possibly can, but shame on you.
All he said was the IDF didn't bomb the hospital.
Siding with what's most likely true is now genocidal.
Oh, here. Okay, I'm going to put this side by side. I want you to fucking understand something, okay? So that is a JDAM called on. Do you think that
So is this one an actual JDAM?
So that is a JDAM called on.
I would say they don't look very similar.
Do you think that
and again, I'm not like some trained munitions expert, but if we're going based on just purely how it looks, what were the similarities?
Seems similar. What am I looking at with my own two eyes? What are you looking at? I have no evidence. Don't believe your fuck. What do you mean? Does that?
Well, Hasan, we know we can't trust your eyes because you thought fucking Arma 2 footage was real, like, war footage. What are you talking about?
That strike you as a fucking misfire?
Hasan's gonna see fucking... He probably thought the fucking AI video that Trump posted was real. He's like, this is what they're doing in Gaza? Like, I swear to God.
Do I even have to give commentary here, or does my point speak for itself?
In your video, do you, I don't know, at any point bring up any of the resources that I'm using, like including the BBC, which you said?
Yeah, I showed the tweet you used. Yeah, I did. I showed the tweet you used of a missile striking the ground, going, doesn't that look like a JDAM? That actually looks a lot like a JDAM.
And look how he tries to weasel out of it.
Yeah.
That's your epic reporting. Those are your epic sources, bro.
Yes. My epic sources. That was the only verified video of the strike at the time. What are you talking about?
Like you're a
Do you know where I
missiles
got
expert,
that?
though. Like you know how to interpret.
Do you know where I got that video from?
all.
Do you know where I got that video from?
Where?
The Washington Post. That's where I got that video from.
Yeah, but you don't know how to interpret what that missile is.
That's really interesting you say that because at the time I was talking at the time.
I saw the Trump casino in Gaza with my own eyes. I saw it. You're gonna tell me it wasn't real? It's like It's like when Trump was like, he had MS-13 on his knuckles. It said it on his knuckles, even though it didn't. He had a marijuana leaf, a smiley face, a cross, and a skull. Have you ever seen MS-13 tattoos where it's like big MS-13, MS-13 across their forehead and shit? Like, they're not doing some like coded shit. That's basically what Hasan does, though.
Time. That's really interesting because at the time I was
Trump and Hasan are more similar than I thought.
Talking to open source intelligence people and also forensic analysts. That's what I was doing, and I still do.
He's lying. If you go to his October 17th stream, the only thing he does is read tweets that disagree with mainstream media reports.
An actual Hamas misfire killed 7 people. Okay, it fell into a crowded area and it only killed 7 people. Misfires from Hamas missiles do not have the capability of destroying an entire fucking hospital.
Didn't it just like cause a dent in the parking lot or something? Like it just blew up some cars or something?
This is what it looked like.
A dent is a... that was me being a little hyperbolic. I know it blew up the parking lot, but still.
Exactly like every other fucking Israeli bombing campaign.
Is that what he said? Open source intelligence people? Just some guys online, some guys on Twitter. Dudes who have FBI in their bio. CIA operative. First class.
Now, here's Evan Hill working as a forensic investigator at the Washington Post.
This guy does not say it was an Israeli bomb. All he did was report the same thing everyone else did. But Hasan acts like it's otherwise.
Video of the moment of the blast at Al-Ahli Hospital, geolocated by the Post, captures a whirring through the air and then a blast, followed by orange flames. IDF blames Islamic Jihad for a failed rocket launch which hit the hospital in Gaza. You think that there is not proof for this? You think that there's not proof for this?
There isn't. So where are these forensic experts that Hasan claimed he talked to? Because they're not on his stream, you can go watch it yourself. He's just lying. Here's another lie. He blamed GeoConfirmed for his poor reporting.
I'm reporting on this kind of thing, especially when it's outside of my immediate expertise or whatever. Yeah. I go to people that are making real-time assessments. One of the things that I'm sure you didn't mention was the GeoConfirmed Twitter thread.
But if you go to the last 40 minutes of his stream, GeoConfirmed corrects the story. And Hasan still writes them off.
Oh, here, by the way, someone making fun of the final conclusion of GeoConfirmed. So a missile exploded in midair, and then a piece of that already exploded missile hit a hospital and killed hundreds of people. This is the absolute dumbass that you guys are putting forward as your conclusive analyzer, okay? God damn it, brother. Jesus Christ, that's how stupid. I'm
sorry, Hasan, you were right. You showed it. You're so right.
Stupid.
How is he going to say this about GeoConfirmed and then bring him up in our debate as an excuse for why he can be wrong? He does this because he's willing to say anything to get out of being held accountable. That's his third.
And it's because he knows he doesn't remember stuff that well, and he knows at this point Willie doesn't remember the conversation or the video that much, so he can kind of just bullshit his way through it.
Third lie. He's again proving my videos right. His next big argument is that since I called him out on being wrong, I now have to call out everyone who's ever been wrong on anything ever.
Every single point that was brought forward in the immediate aftermath of the hospital was actually completely incorrect. But you didn't make a video about that. You made a video about me. Because if you made a video,
about you. Yes, you finally get it.
Stop. Listen, let me finish. If you care about missing.
Hasan saying that is so funny after going blah, 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 blah. Let me finish. Oh my God. Stop it.
Information, maybe you should, I don't know, make the next video about IDF and all the times that they fucking lied about every.
Yeah, the Joe Rogan of the left has never made so much sense.
Single bombing campaign.
So you're saying because I made a video on you, I now got to make a video on Israel?
No, you don't have to do anything, but you can't also maintain the position that you care about the truth and honesty in journalism, like you're a Gamergate holdout, being like, oh, I care about the ethics in video game journalism. That's why we have to dox these fucking female journalists or some shit.
I didn't dox anybody, bro. What are you talking about?
I didn't say that. I'm using. Do you know what a fucking analogy is? Dumb.
I honestly don't know what
That wasn't an analogy. That was framed as an example.
Gamergate is. What, do I look like Captain Palestine? I make videos on YouTubers and streamers. It would be completely out of my depth to talk about the ballistics of a missile. You might be comfortable talking about things you know nothing about, but I'm not.
I do not know if there's a deployment, like an activation that Israeli munitions have that can detonate way before it impacts the ground.
This is insane. How do his fans not see this? How many times can he be wrong, not apologize, and demonize everyone else for criticizing him? He does it in the...
My friend told me about this site. Not only...
The funny thing is Hasan doesn't realize that if he just shut up about it and went, oh yeah, I guess I got that wrong. That was, a mistake on my part. I'm going to try and be better as I move forward. Make sure that I'm cross-referencing these Twitter threads that I read. But instead, he wants to argue and prolong this fucking thing where people wouldn't talk about this anymore. People wouldn't care about this if he would have actually owned up to it. But they want him and Frogan and all of them. They like acting like they've owned up to it, like they've apologized, like they've corrected the record. When in reality, all they're doing is doubling down while saving face. It's like the most weird and it's so transparent. Like you can see right through what they're doing, and it must just be 15, 16-year-olds that are loving it, because I really don't get it at all.
Always pivoting the conversation or coming up with a whataboutism or reverting to outright lying rather than just owning up and doing a better job next time.
You not watching my videos is the same level of reporting that you give Israel and Gaza. It's the same level of reporting that you give Ukraine.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you think
minimum effort in and just
you are revealing, revealing how stupid you are by claiming that watching a fucking YouTube video is the same as reading news reports and talking to on-the-ground journalists and forensic.
He's not saying it's the same. He's saying you do neither. He's saying that even if they were the same, it doesn't even matter because you do neither of them. It's
analysts.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you won't even do the bare minimum, and you won't even do it for a drama video.
I'm losing my fucking mind.
The last topic I wanted to touch on was Hasan radicalizing his audience. Now, in general, I think creators get held to way too high of a standard when it comes to what their audience does. For example, iDubbbz making edgy jokes and getting held accountable because some high schooler decided to actually be racist is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Because again, iDubbbz was just making jokes. He's a comedian. However, when it comes to Hasan demonizing anyone who doesn't line up perfectly with his misreporting, it doesn't come across as a joke.
You bad faith, apartheid defending, bloodthirsty, genocidal freak.
Now, it takes me a few tries to get.
Well, he's not joking. Remember what iDubbbz said in the. I know this is old, but what iDubbbz said in the Content Cop. Maybe it isn't a joke. Maybe it's actually the perspectives of somebody who's been downtrodden, of whatever the fuck.
Hasan to actually engage with the question.
Do you feel like you radicalize your audience because your audience calls Ethan
he's talking
racist, about me. Even though he's pro-Palestinian, right? And the reason why they do that is because whenever anybody just reports a basic fact, like Israel likely didn't do the Gaza hospital bomb, right? Your response is to freak out and call that chatter genocidal and say that they hate all Arabs. You feel like you're radicalizing them to do it? I mean, they do it for a reason.
Are you taking are you in your own assessment here taking things out of context over the course of an 8-hour broadcast where you think maybe
I don't think people understand what context is. Remember as a kid, you learn about context clues. You learn about your context clues. What does this word mean? What does this sentence mean? Look at the surrounding sentences. You don't need to look at an 8-hour stream to get the whole context of a singular statement made. Unless you have a whole reframing later on or prior to that. That would be the only time, but also that just seems ridiculous that you spend 8 hours talking about the same thing or coming back to something. It's just the context of individual clips reside within those clips. Like, there is extra content at times, but almost never with Hasan, I feel like. They're almost always, like, the context adds to nothing. And it's just him fucking meandering about the point.
It's all in context.
No, you don't know
You
the
gotta-
context.
you gotta prove to me
because
that
you
I
can
took
look
it
at
out
it
of context.
because you can look at a f***ing banning that is occurring on a stream and not recognize that that banning is happening because it might be a sock account. That banning might be happening because someone is bad faith.
is
That banning might
irrelevant.
be happening because I'm sorry, we're talking about how I cultivate my community and how I moderate my community. How the f*** is
No,
me
no.
telling you how I
Yeah,
moderate my
listen
community
to what I
irrelevant?
say. Listen
Everything
to
it
what I say,
seems
then.
that
I'll
goes
repeat
against
it.
whatever narrative.
Why would it being a sock account mean that you wouldn't delete it? If it's a sock puppet account that's talking shit about Ethan, wouldn't that be even more of a reason to delete those accounts? I don't get that. Or maybe he's trying to make a different point and was completely missing the argument Willie was making.
If you want to frame is irrelevant in your opinion. So yeah, no wonder you want me to just watch the fucking YouTube video and
the context is I was angry. I was angry and I said something mean.
sit in the goddamn
didn't answer my
shadows.
question.
Everything is
My-
irrelevant. You're asking
my
me questions
question
about how I
is,
operate. This is
radicalizing your
supposed to be your
audience, and
research.
you're going
This is
on
supposed to be
about
your
sock
research, isn't it? Are
You're
you
going on
not
about
supposed to be
sock
doing
accounts. I
fucking
asked
research
you
right
if
now
you're
on your
radicalizing your
subject
audience.
matter? So what's
Can I
irrelevant?
talk? You're asking, hold on. I just said, are you radicalizing your audience? And then you went on a rant about sock accounts. That's
What do we call that? You're right, H3 last week. He likes to gish gallop. He wants to jump from point to point where if someone makes something that's actually like an articulate point that like breaks him down, he'll just jump to the next thing of like, well, that has nothing to do with this thing. And what about this other thing? Yeah, and also Hasan does get more. Here's the thing. I think Hasan might try and get Ethan tilted, but Hasan is way quicker to get mad than Ethan is. Ethan is quicker to play Hasan and let him get angry. So I feel like it's going to be an interesting conversation regardless.
not relevant.
No, because I'm talking about how I cultivate and how I moderate my community. The entire conversation is within the framework of how I moderate my community.
Nope. Oh yeah, dude, his friend's getting uncomfortable.
Moderate my community.
Look,
the entire
he doesn't have any arm rests. He's having to cross his arms. He's getting cold, maybe. Son's got this sweater on, bro. Turn the AC down. Or turn the AC up.
Conversation is within the framework of how I moderate my community.
No, it's not. It's about how your audience is being radicalized into thinking everyone's genocidal that has a different opinion because that's what you've been saying. He still doesn't answer it, going on a long, unrelated rant again, so I have to ask for a third time.
Like ranting. Go on. Sorry. I'm sorry. Give me your...
All right, I'll keep the question
take.
short.
Yeah.
When you criticize chatters by calling them genocidal freaks for having opinions that really are pretty nuanced, right? On a subject that is fairly nuanced, right? Why are you surprised, or you shouldn't be surprised that you're...
Here's the thing. I will say that I don't think that it counts as like a dog pile or whatever, Hasan talking to Ethan. But Ethan does have the benefit of having a whole crew where you know he's going to have their Discord chat or like their chat open on the side, whatever they use, and just talking like, oh, calm down, oh, do this, da da da, kind of trying to keep him like in like aligned, maybe reframing the questions, stuff like that. So Hasan is going to be up at against a bit more than just one man, but the whole thing is it shouldn't matter unless you're only using debate tactics and trying to break down someone's argument through like fallacies. You can just argue your point. You can almost argue everything based purely on philosophy if you really try. But I don't think Hasan is equipped to do that. And that's like the major issue.
Chatters do that to Ethan. Like, you're the one that radicalized them into doing that. They're doing it to Ethan because you do it to everybody else.
If my word is so gold that a chatter is repeating what I'm saying in a moment's notice, then why are they not repeating what I'm saying or hearing what I'm saying, as a matter of fact?
I will say Ethan having Galia is a benefit, but at times I can tell Galia is too anti-Hasan. And obviously I'm anti-Hasan. I feel like a lot of people don't like Hasan, but I can tell that she sees some clips and will take them sometimes when there is extra context. Because I remember they had done something and it was the reason that Ethan was getting more shit from Hasan. There was one clip that I remember had come from Galia and she needs to make sure that her dossier is tight, that everything's like, you know, really concise and very well sourced, because he says enough that's wrong that if we pull from anything of the points that are like semi-right, he's going to hinge on that forever. And that's like the issue. These are all
when I
the
tell
issues.
them over and over again, every single day since Ethan and I had our leftovers broadcast, that Ethan is actually an anti-Zionist. If my audience is acting that way towards Ethan, okay, but
you feel like it's
but my
because you play
audience,
a
so
role
they're
in that.
so they're getting their points from me. They're getting their anger from me. So
Yes.
why don't they hear me out when I talk about how Ethan is not
Because
someone
you
that you
radicalize
should
them
be
into
yelling at
everybody
all?
having a different position has to be genocidal.
Oh, got it.
That's
So
why.
like they don't listen. So they don't listen to one thing. They listen to whatever favors your perspective.
And that's the good thing, is her having the personal, like, kind of, like it being more personal for Galia because Hasan is has talked so much about Ukraine, is good. But that's why I also think that she needs to make sure she's like cool when doing the collection and doing the sourcing, because she doesn't want to end up becoming too emotional and then even like missing other points that he's making because of her frustrations.
In this matter, but they don't listen to the other thing
Yeah, they
when it
all
doesn't
think you're
favor
being
you.
too soft
Got
on
it.
him.
So you
That's
get to pick and
exactly it.
choose on what I get to do, or maybe
No,
let's be
it's
real,
really
you're
simple to
completely
understand.
oblivious to how much.
Loner Box would be actually a good person for that too. I think Loner Box would be good for like just any of the research aspects, honestly. He'll just be able to give Ethan the proper sources and be able to like direct him away from the ones that are going to be critiqued heavily. Because regardless of if a thing is right or not, if it's coming from a particular source, it's just going to get shot down immediately. And that's kind of, I feel like it's one of the issues with doing any type of political content is you're just going to get like everything gets into the weeds. It's always an issue of the fact of the matter. And most of the time, like, I don't know, research is the end all be all. You really have to do the research.
I've talked to my own community about not fucking yelling at Ethan and about how he's a good
Cross-reference.
person, how he's an empathetic person, how he's a kind person, and he truly cares about Palestinian people.
This is the equivalent of a kid swearing and then the parent being surprised even though they do it in front of the kid all the time. Little Jimmy, I told you swearing was bad. Everyone knows Hasan's excuse is a joke. He clearly encourages this attitude.
He basically says, someone said, hey, I don't think Israel bombed the hospitals, according to the evidence. Something like really mild. And he freaks the fuck out. And he goes, you're a genocidal freak. And then people say the same fucking thing to me from his fan base. And we're acting like surprised, like we don't know where they fucking learned that from. Like, I learned it from you, Dad. Remember that?
His fans are calling Ethan Sound Guy a piece of shit that loves genocide because he simply unfollowed Hasan. Hasan says he tries to ban people that say this about Ethan. He has meetings with his mods.
Here's the question for you. Beyond that, what other mechanisms of control do you want me to bring forward,
You
or
should
are
ban
you
them
just
the same way
engaging
you
in
banned my
bad
video when people
faith?
like it.
Because I do, and I
don't.
did. Yes, I did. I told my own moderators, because you don't know this. Again, after Ethan saw
Your moderators are the one doing it, by the way. Like your mods are.
yeah,
people
I
that
went
are
back and
also
looked at
pushing
what
these
they had
same
said
things.
as well. By the way,
This just isn't true. This has been going on weeks before Ethan and Hasan debated. During the debate, his mods were saying stuff like, he's so Islamophobic. Are Arabs subhuman to him? Don't spout.
And there's good old Frogan.
Mods were saying stuff like, he's so Islamophobic. Are Arabs subhuman to him?
It's like, why even, what is the point of saying these
Don't
things?
spout Zionist discourse, then shrug. It's constant. There's multiple spreadsheets documenting this. When he asked Hasan about it, Hasan pretends he doesn't know. It's so dishonest.
And you do you care that your chat is calling me racist? Do you make any attempt to modify?
I have not looked at my chat.
Moderate that at
I have
all?
not looked at my chat at all.
As it turns out, Hasan...
I also just find that hard to believe. I haven't looked at my chat at all. You're telling me you don't have your chat up on a screen at all times? Like, I feel like Hasan's the type of person where he has a monitor dedicated to his chat. Like we saw in the picture from the New York Times article where it showed his chat going with the fucking thing about wanting to murder IDF soldiers and make their mothers shove missiles up the dead, like, their asses and shit. Crazy shit.
Hasan debates his friends the same way he debates me, using really bad faith arguments.
But you
I just opened it, but don't you have moderators? Do you care at all about what your audience says about
there's
me?
32,000 people in
What shade of red do we think Hasan's going to get during the debate with Ethan?
here right now. The reason why people are saying that is because of the conflations that you made, Ethan. That's why, like, I can't stop people from viewing you a certain way if you're going to make these comparisons that they've heard from actually racist people. You literally implied that Jewish Voice for Peace would be akin to a capo in this circumstance.
Oh, you are fucking so bad faith for saying that, and fuck you for even like putting that out in the world. That was
You are
not
the
my
one who
point.
made this comparison.
My point was that you can find anybody to defend any fucking thing. That was my point.
Hasan doesn't care. With friends like this, who needs enemies? The debate between me and Hasan ends with him saying I take things out of context when I don't. He doesn't cite anything. I'm apparently the only one who has to bring receipts.
Over the course of an 8-hour
You right now
broadcast,
is the same thing you always do. I'm just saying.
No,
like this, you're
just
doing
stop
it in
saying it's
real
the same thing
time.
you always
You're doing
do.
it in real time, bro.
Over the course
okay.
of an 8-hour broadcast, if you look to literally 3
How
moments,
come nobody
you can find,
else shut up as much as you, dude? That does 8-hour broadcast.
because no one has the most psychopathic fandom like idiots like you who sit through every minutia to find a
called
clippable
research.
moment,
It's
to
actually
find
just
a
called-
clippable
it's
moment
just
to be
called
like, he
basic
sucks, he's
research.
bad. That's
You
the
make
reason,
research
dickhead.
sound bad,
all right.
bro.
Anyway, I gotta go. I'm being rude to my guest.
This poor guy had to sit in the cuck chair the whole time. He does not look well, but he finished strong.
Oh, my guest has a question for you.
All right, let's
Go
hear
ahead.
it. Don't you think it's weird how like Anne Hathaway like isn't Jewish? I just found that out like last year.
Ooh, we got a little update on from Ethan's story. Suit day. How we know we're going up. Are these? What are these called? Fuck. They're the nice ones. God damn it. Whatever. I forget and I don't care anymore. But I just wanted to check his story to see if anything was going on. It's a suit day. Wingtips? Something like that.
I don't fucking know, bro.
Doesn't she like kind of like look like Jewish? I always thought that. I was like, let's go. That's one of ours. But apparently she isn't. She's
Are
like
you
the
Jewish?
opposite. Yeah.
Nice. Shalom.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
That was the question.
That's it?
Yeah.
No.
I just
No,
found
it's-
out about the Anne Hathaway thing
Well,
like this year.
It's breaking news. I'm sure his
Billy,
son's looking into it.
Willie Mack, thank you so much for your ethics in video game journalism or your ethics in conflict reporting.
Thanks for coping by
I'm
just
sure.
saying stuff's out
I'm
of
sure.
context
Okay.
without
Okay.
showing
Yeah.
it
You
at
got
all.
me, dude. You fucking owe me. Okay. Thanks for
Yeah.
coping. He says. All right. Jesus Christ.
Poo, pee, pee, penis and vagina. Women with dicks and weak men with vaginas.
Hasan, despite telling me that this debate was going to be in good faith, repeating it again during our conversation,
I'm trying to
That's what
engage
you're
with you
doing.
in good faith as best as I possibly can.
proved that was not his intention, poisoning the well before I even came on.
No way he joins. All of his critiques come from other people's critiques. He doesn't have his own positions. Yeah, it's just like it's a drama farming dipshit who knows about like YouTube culture and is simply talking about this shit that he doesn't personally understand and trying to farm clips off of it so he can make another video, which in my opinion is cowardly.
What about this is good faith?
It's because he has nothing to respond with. He's like looking desperately, most likely, to gain as many talking points as he possibly can to come on and will most likely be like, oh, why don't you fight like some fucking random Nazi? Or why don't you debate some dude that will end up covering this debate regardless and desperately get his community to fucking try to clip chimp you to make you look bad as he's been doing for years. That's all it's going to end up being. I know that already.
He thinks that Sam Hyde or Destiny is behind me. We've never talked, but I kind of want to now, seeing that you're so paranoid about him. What did he do? Correction, I did talk to Destiny in a game show.
Destiny didn't want to fuck all the hot chicks that Hasan brought him. That's what happened. Sad, really.
Once, but I forgot. Our relationship is non-existent. He then go on stream the next day, S-Man.
Willie Mack's relationship with Destiny did grow exponentially after this, but then he's the one that did the whole like expose on Destiny after the other one by Mr. Beard.
That I made fun of him for saying he's an on-the-ground journalist.
Not Mr. Beard, Ryan Beard. You get what I'm saying.
I'm also going to say there's no analysis or any information whatsoever that you bring to the table when you make an assertion. Sometimes it might be correct, sometimes it might be incorrect. We will never talk about the correct ones. We will only talk about the incorrect ones. And not even incorrect ones, but like statements that you've made where you've exaggerated. I, on the other hand, can exaggerate and lie and say you do on-the-ground reporting, use something out of context to say that you claim that all the time, keep repeating it back and forth to you.
I think we all know that Hasan isn't a real on-the-ground journalist, but he does speak very highly of his coverage.
But if it's between me going live and giving you 10 hours of on-the-ground, 10 hours of reporting from the ground at a critical moment, at a critical time, versus not going live that day just so I can go on Piers Morgan and fucking yell at him, I think it's selfish of me to take the Piers Morgan route. That's how I feel about this issue.
Ultimately, I am not held up by the same journalistic standards, even though I think I do a much better job than most other news outlets in general.
He said this.
I don't understand this. Why do people try and say this? I'm not a journalist. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm better than them, though. I actually do a lot better than they do, but I would never consider myself one of them. It's like, why must you separate yourself like this? Is this the... Yo, isn't this from GTA 5? This is where you get that one mission with it. This is where you go meet the dude from the FIB. Crazy.
It's on national television. He then says, oh, I'm only a Twitch streamer when he's in trouble for getting things wrong. That's what makes it funny. He then relies on his Reddit to...
Yeah, it's on-the-ground journalism. Should it be on-the-floor journalism since he's inside?
Prove that I was wrong during the whole debate.
This is an actual debate lord who like went through it and put it down piece by piece.
Okay, let's go through it. First, they said I lied for saying Hasan never apologized about Ukraine. Again, I made clear that his apology didn't mean much since he did the same thing again in the apology video.
People talking about like bombing Kiev.
Second lie, Kiev was bombed February 24th. Hasan's commentary is on February 22nd. I know, I'm criticizing him for his poor and baseless predictions, which were proven wrong only 2 days later. That's an L for Hasan, if anything. Third lie, the BBC originally blamed Israel.
I love that they keep saying Hamas-run health ministry, like it's not the fucking health ministry.
As I've already proven, all they said was that Hamas said that, and then Hasan was angry at them for doing so. Fourth lie, Hasan never apologizes, but when you click the link, it's Hasan admitting that he doesn't.
Do you want me to tell you why I didn't apologize?
I know why you didn't apologize, because you never do. You always double down.
No.
It's funny because this proves...
I feel like people don't know how to timestamp stuff properly. I see that all the time where people go, look at this, and then it'll be the completely wrong place. YouTube made it so easy now. All you gotta do is just copy video URL at current time.
His audience is just like him. They don't research anything. The rest of it is just the same things I've already refuted during the debate.
He openly recognizes that he's a drama farmer and his video is a drama video.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, buy a Willie Drama Farm head at WillieMackShop.com. Yes, milk the biggest lol cow in Piker City, USA. The cow that never stops giving. Bro, if you want me to stop farming you, you have to put the bare minimum effort in when covering breaking news. Stop blaming me for you sucking at your job. But it is a real hat. You should buy it. Link in the description. Overall, what are my feelings on the debate?
If GTA 6 comes out in September, I'm gonna be like Papa Gut playing video games while I react. I'm gonna be playing GTA 6 the whole time, man.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I got to debate in front of 30,000 people on the biggest left-leaning political streamer show. Even though he was an ass, it's just cool to say that I did it. I'm having some of the most fun I've had on YouTube, and I hope that comes through on the camera. Subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out Holskern. They have some amazing gifts for the holidays. And shout out to the homies over on Patreon, Phoebes, Crimson.
Great stuff from Willie. We do have a thumbnail and a title. Talking to Sam Cedar, H3 show number 142. Sam Cedar's going to be all like, Ethan, you're a dirty Zionist Jew. Why aren't you dead? We know it's going to happen. I'm just kidding. I really do think that it's going to be a very positive conversation that I'm really wondering if they're just going to try and kind of blast through all the Israel-Palestine stuff quickly, because I don't see like I was saying earlier, there's literally Palestinians that share the same perspective as Ethan, and I feel like once he presents that appropriately and like accurately to Sam, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I don't see the issue with that." I might think more extremely that Israel does need to yada 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 more, but I feel like they're going to come to a middle ground very quickly. But then I'm wondering if they're really just going to hinge on the whole Hasan supports terrorism, because that is much more like crazy. The only thing I'm worried about is they said on Friday they're doing the debate at 12:30. Are they still going to start at 12? They're just doing the debate at 12:30, or what's going to happen? But yeah, I just saw this on Reddit too. Someone just posted this. With Harley, or this was a day ago actually. With Harley dropping out of Creator Clash, anyone is now entitled to a full refund, which they were previously refusing. Florida Statute 548.066. 548.066. Ticket refunds. 1. Upon the postponement. The postponement. I don't know why I couldn't read that. I guess I don't think I've ever seen the word written out. Time to read things correctly. Upon the postponement, substitution of either participant, or cancellation of the main event of the entire program of matches, the promoter shall refund the full purchase price of the ticket to each person representing a ticket for a refund within 30 days after the scheduled date of the event. Within 10 days after the expiration of the 30-day period, the promoter shall pay all unclaimed ticket receipts to the commission. The commission shall hold the funds for 1 year and make refunds during such time to any person presenting a ticket for a refund. Thereafter, the commission shall pay all remaining funds from the ticket sale to the state treasurer for deposit into the general revenue fund. So this is going to be a fucked event. Why did he do this? And it's not even like a... last week they only sold 60 new tickets. And it's just going to start dropping. Going to go down and down and down and down and down. I'm wondering how they're going to talk about Sam's co-host. That is going to be interesting if they decide to talk about that. Let's see if there's... Majority... So this is from 19 hours ago. Emma from Majority Report is a snarker. They start talking about the content cop at 33 minutes and 45 seconds. And Emma just started with the BS snark narrative. Interesting. Let's jump in and see. 33. I guess I'm just...
Lance and Mike.
Yes, let's pray for Ethan today. O mighty spirit, all good spirits that doth look down upon us, put all your good energy around Ethan Klein for the remainder of this week as he attempts to battle these baseless claims and confront and stand up for himself. Blessed be to all things. Amen.
We were supposed to, the last time y'all were here, we discussed Ethan Klein versus Hasan before, when it was just the content nuke. The content nuke had come out. Now, since we have a content cop from iDubbbz, and then we have a response from Ethan Klein. But I know that David and Binder probably barely know any of this, and for the audience, so y'all should.
I think that's the only thing is any tickets are going to be bought through the pay-per-view, and it's only going to be for Lena. So if Lena really does pull out at any point, I feel like they're going to see an even more major drop in tickets. Like they're going to just end up getting completely fucked. Not to say like, oh, Lena should stay for them. Fuck them, you know. she's her own woman though. She should be able to decide if she wants to go beat the fuck out of Froggy Tonic, whatever her name is. That's not it. What's her name? Froggy Punch, whatever. Not Froggy Tonic. That's the bad guy. Fuck, why can't I remember her name? It's the only good frog. Let me play this. Fuck.
What if you should give a background on this drama?
Well, I was gonna say I don't know if most people would understand that sentence.
Right, I was like, Lance, you're gonna explain all of that.
Funky Frog Bait, that's it. Funky Frog Bait, fuck. She's the only good one.
I need a little
Mike, do you wanna take it away?
refresher. I know that there's that Ethan has basically kind of
Which one's the Surfs guy? I've heard of that. Is it a podcast? I've heard of that before, but I've never seen it.
have just been crashing out and going obsessively talking about Hasan. I know that he like tagged me in some things and thinks I'm an anti-Semite. I mean, what else is new?
I did see your face on. You know what?
Yeah.
I did see, and I was like, "What happened to? How am I getting?" It was so random.
I mean, it's just the idea because I'm anti-Zionist, because I criticize the genocide in Palestine, and because we are friends with Hasan. I mean, I think that he seems to be addicted to attention.
My phone always autocorrects Frogan to Frogman, as if Frogman is like a well-known, established, like, I don't even know, comic book hero? Oh, this guy, true. Oh, disheveled Nate in the top left corner. He does look a bit disheveled. He looks like me on a bad day.
Addicted to Hasan.
But sorry, let me run this back just a little bit, because I was half listening to her.
I mean, it's just the idea because I'm anti-Zionist, because I criticize the genocide in Palestine, and because we are friends with Hasan. I mean, I think that he seems to be addicted to attention, addicted to responding to things, addicted to being outraged, and addicted to some other things. I wouldn't be shocked.
It's a victim complex.
He doesn't seem
well.
Literally just jumping with the yo. And it's just so weird that people always frame it as people just hate it because I'm anti-Zionist. They want to come at me because of that. When you're literally taking like internet narratives of people.
He doesn't seem well,
right.
but he does. You know, I think he and Sam are going to have a conversation. He had said previously that he thought that was so. He had said to Hasan, "This is what I know," that Hasan could never understand because he's not a Jewish person. And Hasan had said, okay, then perhaps you could have a conversation with an anti-Zionist Jewish person, and has floated Sam. In response to that, Ethan has said that that's tokenism. So it begs the question, if you can't talk to an
And just to clarify, based on my recollection, what he was saying is you cannot speak for all of Jews, because Hasan was saying Jewish people are... I forget which direction he was saying it in, but he was either saying that they support Israel or hate Palestine, or something. It was something along those lines where he was like, the majority of people think this. And or was he saying that young Israelis or young Jewish people think that the destruction of Israel is good? Is that what he was saying? It was something along those lines, and Ethan was clarifying that Hasan, unless he's pulling from data and stats, cannot speak for Jewish people. And Ethan only ever speaks from the perspective of statistics. Like any of the things he was saying was like a stat that was could be presented, at least. I don't think they were at the time.
anti-Zionist Jew, and that's tokenism, but you can't talk to an anti-Zionist Gentile or a non-Jew about that ideology, then who can you talk to other than Zionists, which I should say includes Christian Zionists. Biden called himself a Zionist. Zionism is an ideology that crosses religion. Now, there are Jewish Zionists, right? But in terms of numbers in this country,
Again, I'm going to keep hinging on this point because I think it's a stronger argument to make, because I don't think a lot of these people are anti-Semitic. Most of these people are xenophobic. They hate Israelis. They hate the idea of Israel, the people there, the culture that it's created. They think Israel is disgusting and should be destroyed. That's what it is. And it's xenophobic and xenophobia. And like they want to argue so much. I know Jewish people. I have Jewish friends. But if you ask them, do you have any Israeli friends? Do you know anybody that's Israeli? Would you be associated with somebody that's Israeli? And if you would, do they have to first go, I denounce all of Israel and I hope that Israel is destroyed? And I think that, like, it's just weird because, yes, you aren't anti-Semitic. You aren't, it isn't only about the Jews. There are Christian Zionists and Muslim Zionists. There are those people that exist. But the difference is that they use the idea of being anti-Zionist to be xenophobic and say that all the Israeli culture is disgusting and that the people are just destructive and are trying to kill all of the Palestinians. Sorry, I'm rambling a bit.
The entire Republican Party is filled with Christian Zionists. I mean, the majority of the Republican Party.
Well, it's just funny, too, because, I mean, if they want to agree to disagree on it, I'm sorry, I keep pausing it because I read something in the chat. If they want to agree to disagree about Zionism and say, you think Zionism is, or we can just agree on one stance. Let's agree that Zionism is not just the idea that Israel should exist, but Zionism is the idea that Israel should destroy Palestine and should. It's like, okay, we can say that. I'm not a Zionist then. Ethan's not a Zionist. Ela's not a Zionist. None of the people that like are pro-Israel in the way that we say it in the West is a Zionist, if that's the case, if that's the definition you want to use. But you can't use that definition and then say, but all these people claim to be Zionists, because that's not the definition that everybody like uses. Balls
The
is so
elected
right.
Republicans are Christians and they are Zionists. So from a numbers perspective, Zionists, there are more Christian Zionists in this country than there are Jewish Zionists.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The constant conflation of those things, I think, is, obviously misinformation, but it seems to be something that he's struggling with, so he's lashing out at everybody else, and I don't know. That's
To
my
me-
understanding of what's happened.
My read on it, because I followed Ethan Klein for years, I was a really big fan. I even have like Teddy Fresh merch. Like I bought their shit.
I don't get it. I don't, for someone who's, what is the appeal? I don't get how they got famous. I don't get the
who's
deal
Teddy
with their
Fresh?
show. I don't get.
That's their merch company.
Bro, the only thing clean about you is the wall behind you. You shouldn't really be talking about others. What is likable? What's so likable about them? Come on, man. The pot calling the kettle black right now. And honestly, I think there's a lot of people who have Teddy Fresh who don't even know what like H3H3 is, because it's been in stores. It was in Zoomies for a while. Like, I don't think that everybody who wears it is a super big fan, but I do find that funny that everybody always says that and goes, I own Teddy Fresh.
Company. They were early adopters of YouTube who were doing edgelord, aka racist sketches, and that stuff was viral gold back then. It was the same generation as iDubbbz and Filthy Frank, who became Joji, and like all these other people now, for better or for worse, who don't have the same careers that they used to, and now they're struggling with trying to do modern politics. When that used to they used to just be entertainers. They're not people who study or analyze news and politics. They're just people who were like doing racism on the internet back in the day and got famous doing that.
So his thing was that he was kind of like the one person on the internet that was shitting on other shitty internet personalities. Like, remember Ty Lopez, that ad that everybody hated, the Here in My Garage? He would shit on him and it was really funny. He'd talk about like these people that were ridiculous, like these pranksters on the internet who would try to hit on.
Yeah, and that is the biggest problem, is that since there's no defined like singular Zionist belief, it ends up with everybody just like throwing the sheet, calling people Zionists as if they all agree with the same aims. Yeah, for real. His iconic racist videos such as Vape Nation. I just don't get how everybody goes, Ethan Klein was the racist and homophobic and evil, bigoted one, but iDubbbz changed. The only racist thing anybody's ever been able to like pull from Ethan, like overtly racist is what I'm saying, is the fake blackface thing where it's him using the charcoal mask after doing like white products and black products and yellow products. The thing is it's funny because the joke is definitely like racially toned. It's meant to make a joke about the fact that you're definitely doing whiteface and blackface and yellowface. I think that was the the hidden joke, but that isn't like an overt like there was no racist undertones or anything. I think that was like kind of the underlying joke that this is going to get misconstrued as racism because we're doing this
on girls, and just like it was very like relatable. And then he went through these different phases where he was a little bit reactionary after starting his podcast. I remember him debating with his producers on whether or not billionaires should exist. So I've gone in and out, but largely I really ended up liking Ethan Klein, especially like during the pandemic, during his podcast with Trisha and Hasan.
And again, if we're gonna talk about anyone's blackface, there are people that did it way worse. He's just Shaq. He's just Shaq. My God.
Because he's just a human. Like, he tries to better himself. He admits where he was wrong. He platformed Jordan Peterson. He tried to right that wrong. To me, what I get from the Hasan thing is just straight up grievance politics. Like, even though certainly it's about Israel.
That's in the
because
water these days.
Right. That's exactly it. I mean, certainly he's sensitive about this because his wife is Israeli. He lived in Israel. So there's that element, of course, but it's also grievance politics.
I just hate, I'm sorry, but I also just dislike this framing that everybody uses of, he obviously cares about this because his wife's Israeli. That's like the main thing. It's like, why can't he just have the perspective based on like the things, because it's basically saying there's no actual reason to support Israel other than having some familial ties to it. That's literally what they're saying when they say that. It's so weird because I don't have any family or anybody that lives in Israel, but I still think Israel has the right to exist. And I don't understand why they have to frame it like that every time of saying like, well, they clearly think that because they live there, you know, they have family that lives there. Why does that matter?
Where he kind of feels wronged by his
like, argue why the politics are wrong.
Because over the course of the last couple of years, he's really built up a progressive audience. He was debating transphobes, and he shitting on the right regularly with Hasan. So then when all of us
see, I love Harley. I just can't not bring that up every time I see it. It's so, every time Harley's brought up, it's so fucking bad. It's so bad, but it's so like, because his explanation, he's willing to talk about it, is he's like, I just didn't know it was bad. He went to like a party dressed like that because he was like, I didn't get it. And that's the part that makes me laugh, is like, bro, you did full, not even blackface, you did black body, you did a whole, like, you did whole body makeup. And he's like, I don't know. I was Canadian.
All of a sudden you have this audience and they turn on you like that, and they're not taking your side, that's hard to reckon with. So rather than realizing that this audience that he had built up didn't like the Zionist talking points that he was using, didn't like,
They also say this, the Zionist talking points, yeah, like disavowing Netanyahu and the IDF. Like Ela literally saying in the clip where everyone's like, what is the fucking place where they did the raid? Not Rafah. Ramallah? Yeah, Ramallah. Yeah. They did a raid in Ramallah, and whenever they bring up the clip, literally before that clip, she says, when I lived in Israel, you know, I talked about being against Palestine. My bad. Being against Israel and being against the military and their aims and stuff. But then moving to America, you see all the people like this who just point their fingers at the things that are happening and act as if they know better. And that's the issue. Is it's not about like, it's not if Israel is bad or if it isn't. Everyone knows Israel is doing bad things and is bad in a lot of ways. But that doesn't mean that it shouldn't exist and should be destroyed wholly. No, that's what I'm saying, is even the Canadian argument didn't make any sense to me. I'm Canadian, so it didn't make it, so I didn't know. Bro just hadn't heard of minstrel shows until his 30s.
referring to Jewish Voice for Peace Escapos, rather than just reckoning with what he said, he blamed Hasan for it. He's the one who turned the audience against me. And I think that grudge has just kind of festered.
Here,
whatnot.
Let's do
and
a poll and let's see.
During, I think the first podcast episode of Leftovers, his podcast with Hasan after October 7th, they had a good conversation. Ethan cried talking about the, footage from Gaza and whatnot. And even though he wasn't great. He was open to listening and whatnot, and just with time, you can tell that the pettiness, this grudge against Hasan really built up. This is how I see it, like as somebody who's a former fan. And now it's just he's on a warpath, and Hasan is basically like this guy who's controlling all the puppet strings of everybody else who's attacking him.
What was the? Sorry, can I ask? What was the breaking point with him and Hasan? Because I watched their podcast and I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed seeing that interaction. That was a pretty good
It
podcast
was
when it
post
lasted.
October 7th.
Yeah.
They started having to discuss, obviously, like the rest of everybody was talking about, what was taking place. They started having to have discussions about it, and they would find a lot of friction points. And so they took a break for a little while. And then after they took a break, they eventually had a couple of like public fights just being on their live streams individually. They weren't doing the show together. And then those public fights evolved into basically like the show's not going to be around anymore.
In particular,
I think 10's a good guess. Wanting 30 just for personal means is definitely the way to go. We've all got to pray for our own right.
his issue with Hasan during those debates was that Hasan wasn't controlling.
That's the part I don't get either. Everybody that goes, I used to love Ethan. I used to love all of his racist and homophobic and terrible content. But then he started supporting Israel. And that's when it really... But I guess that is kind of their point, right? Because they love iDubbbz now. They love Ian. They're like, oh, we love the old edgy shit. We love when you would rip a fucking Quran in half. But supporting Israel, that's where we draw the line.
Controlling his audience, because Ethan Klein would say something that's really insensitive and quite frankly racist, and he was mad that Hasan as a friend wasn't defending him and letting the audience kind of run roughshod, right? So that's the crux of his anger with Hasan. That's the beginning of it.
But that is just like, I'm sorry, we are in the political debate space, and the audience is going to react how they're going to react. Like
on an issue like this.
Yeah, and if you're going to wade into politics, do so, but be ready to deal with the consequences of this. Because what I'm seeing from him, based on, again, I'm not super deep into this, but I do know enough to get.
I'm not super deep into this. I'm just on the Twitter. I'm on the Reddit and see that he might be doing drugs. He might be on drugs. Because I'm sorry, you wouldn't assume that unless you've seen it somewhere else. Because I don't see somebody acting like... Ethan doesn't act like he's on drugs. You people don't know drug addicts. I've seen a lot of people on drugs. I would know if Ethan was on drugs.
Yeah, and that's what I did just lay out for you. But it's also reflected in my experience with liberal Zionists, Jewish and non-Jewish, in my personal life, where there has been a bit of a fork in the road, where there are some people that have self-reflected on perhaps their reflexive view of Israel as this a moral democracy in the Middle East, and being moral by default, frankly, because often democracy and morality are used to speak about like Western civilization and Western values to besmirch folks in the global South or in the Middle East as barbarians and not cosmopolitan like the rest of us. That there have been some people that have reflected on that, because it's very easy, I think, for some liberals to be anti-racist within a domestic context, because that's very much within acceptable thought, and it's about who you align yourself with. It's about...
I think assuming someone's on drugs purely based on their physical attributes, like, maybe someone's more animated, they talk with their hands, they talk really big. Assuming that person's on drugs purely from that is kind of like ridiculous. Look at their workload, look at how they handle themselves. Ethan's always sniffling and going to the bathroom. He must be doing cocaine.
Supporting the Democratic Party, and so you don't necessarily have to do any anti-racist work, because you think by default, because of your political affiliation, that should absolve you of things. But some people have done the work at liberal Zionists, and they've changed their perspective. Others that I've seen have gone the opposite direction.
That's Ethan.
Where because it's become so emotional for them, because it flies in the face of their own self-conception, that
if Ethan was on drugs, we'd get way more watch talk and way more gambling.
I am anti-racist by default. One, if they're a Jewish Zionist, because they've experienced the horrors of the Holocaust, and because all this suffering has to have built up an anti-racist, anti-genocide cachet in me, and instead of self-reflecting, or cash, or I forget how you say it, instead of self-reflecting, I'm going to say that everybody else is wrong. And it seems like he's in that other bucket, which is just not interesting in any real way, because they're going to be dinosaurs.
No, yeah, I know it's a tick now. Like, it's so obviously a tick because of how, like, often he does it. Anyone who does coke isn't going, like, it's clearly like the way he's doing it, how often he does it. Like, cocaine people, like people who do cocaine do sniff like that, but it's not like, there's a difference. I'm telling you, if you've been around drug addicts, if you've been around people that do drugs, you know what it's like. They do the throaty one too. I'm not going to do it because it's fucking gross, but yeah.
At a certain point, right now, a majority public opinion in this country is negative about Israel. There was polling.
And that's the thing, is most people don't understand is they conflate Zionism with the destruction of Palestine, and then make that their biggest thing to then say, like, oh, there's so much Zionism, there's so much, like they'll be like, oh, people don't support like Israel, what they're doing, but they're still Zionists. What's happening? And it's like, you clearly are missing the point. Oh, here's another clip from Lonerbox. This is just a clip. Every time. Since we're going to be looking at majority report, I'm just pulling a few clips that I'm finding from the Reddit right now.
It's like,
wait, what did he say there before he said that Israel didn't? Okay.
They wanted to kill every last Jewish person, and they just did not have the means to do it. And so, if one element of
okay,
but I'll just say one bit of evidence against the idea.
Oh, okay, sorry. Don't mean to cut that off, but here's Sam saying he's calling in.
Rural Lefty, for those of us less in the know, who is Sam debating at 4 p.m. Eastern time? I don't know. I'm not perceiving it as a debate. Ethan Klein from H3N. Is that what it is? HN3?
Just H3.
H3.
Bro doesn't even know what it's called. H3N. What the fuck would that even mean, bro?
Watch out for...
This just shows how stupid it is that fucking Hasan was like, why don't you go talk to Sam Cedar? Why don't you go talk to Sam Cedar? He's not in the fucking know about any of this. It's just so dumb.
Talking with Ethan, he's going to have Sam Cedar step in as a pinch debater for a second. What a fucking nightmare.
That would fuck you up.
And now we see it's not going to be a debate. At least Sam isn't going to frame it as a debate. And the thing of the video is called Talking to Sam Cedar. So they're not framed as a debate in any way. Seems like they're just talking. But here, let me run this back again. Yeah, the H3 network. That's what it is. See, Sam's really respectful. And that's what I like about him. And so I'm wondering if we're going to get chimes in from buddies in the back.
It's like,
wait, what did he say there before he said that Israel didn't? Okay.
They wanted to kill every last Jewish person.
Let's start weed chat early, shall we?
Okay.
But I'll just say one bit of evidence against the idea that Hamas simply just wanted to kill all Jews. They took a number of them hostage, and so that would just a little data point. I mean.
So if Israel kidnaps 200 Palestinians, that's evidence that they didn't want to kill every last Palestinian to do a genocide. Wait, hang on. Israel did kidnap Palestinian, well, they took prisoners, right? Some of whom were not actually Hamas militants, were accused of being Hamas militants and were tortured. They did do that, actually. Interesting. What a fucking retarded argument. It's also because Hamas knows they can't kill every Jew in Israel. They can't do that. They don't have the means, so they have to do different things. But one of them was maximum killing, basically, on October 7th. It was kill as many people as possible and take some hostages. These are not mutually exclusive. Like, you don't lose your fucking genocidal desire allegation just because you kidnapped 250 people in the process. Some good evidence that they didn't want to genocide all the Jews in the Holocaust was that some of them became fucking slaves in labor camps. Bro!
See, this is why I like Lonerbox, because Lonerbox really does just. I felt like there was nothing for me to add there. He really is just like the most articulate political creator, I think. Wait, what? Now I'm seeing this. Is this real? Literally, what the fuck is going on? Ethan, making fun of your looks was wrong. I just think you've said terrible things that need to be called out. Brogan retweets a fantasy of what it'd feel like to see Ethan's obituary. Is that a real thing? Brogan Twitter. Okay. So this was the one where he said, like this post, this is the guy that's like, oh, Ethan's kids eat shit and they're fucking da-da-da-da. This guy's a fucking scumbag. And I'm sorry. Scumbags that can't show their faces are the worst kind. This is fucking crazy. But yeah, I remember seeing this. Ethan Klein, 1985 to 2025. Like this post to preview what it would feel like when you open your phone and it's happened for real. You should not be posting stuff like this. And someone going, I kind of want to fuck Frogan, titty fuck specifically. Ethan Klein that is a crazy thing to fucking say. Ethan Klein has been gang stalking a young woman streamer in her 20s all day, every day on his show because she's a Muslim. He encourages his audience to participate in gang stalking, and now his vocal defenders feel comfortable explicitly sexually harassing her in the open. Okay, I will say, this was weird. This person shouldn't have said that. Very weird thing to say. But is that to the level of wishing his death? I don't know. Sexualizing somebody? Wrong. Shouldn't be done. No, and that's the thing too, is yeah, if she wasn't just constantly saying dumb shit, I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
It is the most.
I watched this whole thing, and I will give them credit that they denounced the CPS calling, they denounced a few things, they talked about a few things, but they still just they hinge on these fucking things that are just so ridiculous. Like, he was like, why can't Hila just say that the raid in Ramallah was wrong? Millhouse, come on. There's no way you're gonna marry Lisa like this. And they, I will say that they did say some positive things. They weren't trying to be wholly negative, but a lot of the time it just feels backhanded. And I'm being honest, because you guys act like, and why does everybody spell iDubbbz's fucking name wrong? You guys disrespect this man to no end. It's insane. It's 3 B's. Come on. But they went towards the end, they were a little nicer. It wasn't that bad. I will say it was funny because they did say, they were like, people do hate watch our podcast because of Ethan Klein and this and that. And it's like, but guys, it's because you're naming. I would have never heard about this if Frogan didn't make her video titled my response to Ethan Klein, and at the beginning saying, hey, go check out Arab's podcast, and having it in Arab's podcast, and look in the fucking description and it has the link. Like, it's all connected. These things matter. But they did say some nice. I'm gonna try and catch it if I do. Let's see if I get something unhinged instead.
Well, like, really put myself in it as much, or put the podcast in it, or talk about it as much. It is getting to a point where it is kind of, it's getting gross. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how true this is, but you know, they had CPS called on them, and that's
And I'm not gonna do the thing. Did AB say it to Lonerbox? Didn't AB say Lonerbox was a self-hating Arab, and then other people said it to AB? Because I just remember that was getting thrown around a lot. I don't think they're self-hating Arabs, but I just think they're self-hating individuals where they're one of those people who look on the past and want to go like, my history is so, like, everybody's history is founded on fucking pillaging and destruction. That's just the truth. Your clan survived because it
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who...
It's the H3 show. The date is April 30th.
I had like fucking 4 open. Well, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. It's been a whole lot of fun. But what I was going to say is just don't hate yourself. Just remember that you can be better than your ancestors. That's all I was going to say. But thank you so much for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And go watch the live. I got fucking like, that was crazy.